All right, hey there. Good afternoon, everybody. Or I guess, God, I always say good afternoon, but you know what? Good morning. It's a few minutes after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Tuesday, the 15th of March, 2022. I'm Chris Franks with Texas West Capital, and it is a nice and sunny morning out here in Bernie, Texas. Good to have you all checking in. Soon going to be from Houston, Texas. We'll get that relocation on before too much longer here. Hopefully, anyway, looking forward to getting that all done with and concentrating back on work fully. But anyway, hopefully you guys are doing all right here. FOMC meeting, and so tomorrow we'll see the minutes. And so 25 basis point, rate hike is what's pretty much priced in everywhere. Surprises would be 50 basis point hike or no hike at all. So either one of those two things will lead the markets to do some pretty crazy knee-jerk reactions because everybody's been kind of expecting this for so long now. What I'm looking for tomorrow is, where are their heads at? What are they talking about? Are they hinting at anything, further on as the year continues here? Because we've still got a few of those guys that are really kind of looking forward to the 50 basis point hike. They think that needs to be done. And but the people closest to Powell are still saying 25 is enough. So as usual, the Fed is behind the thing. Everybody's like, oh, the Fed's going to do this and cause the market to do that. But come on, guys, you can see it right here. They continue to be behind the eight ball. They're always reacting, and usually very slowly, very measured, not kind of getting in there and doing things like people would expect them to do. So it leads to overextensions and overreactions and whatnot. But anyway, we'll see how all that goes. But that's, those FOMC minutes will be tomorrow. So right now we've got the dollar and Bitcoin both looking like they're ready to kind of break on out and rally higher. I'm personally short the euro right now against the dollar, and I'm long Bitcoin at the moment. So those are my two big positions right now. Anybody else? Anybody else long Bitcoin, short the euro? Be good to know. Who's here? Let's see. Hank's here. He says, my guess is that a lot of people will be caught off guard by the daylight savings time change. Man, I know, right? God, I'm so sick of that. It's so unneeded these days, and yet we continue to do it, unless you're in Arizona or Illinois, in which case they don't do that. But here in the U.S., the rest of us do, and it's just a friggin' pain in the rear end. Good to see you, Nevlusia, and Claudia, you checking in. Chan, man, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen you checking in, I don't think, in a while. Fernando, Olivas, what's going on, man? Tiva Canales here. Mike Slane, what's up, buddy? Good to see you guys checking in. Yeah, it's only a few a few people so far, so we might see everybody come in at here in about an hour or so, 50 minutes ago. Hey, man, I guess I forgot. Do the time change. Let me see here. As always, if you haven't joined us yet, we'd love to have you here. You can get here at TexasWestCapital.com and just click on right here. It'll take you to HowToTradeToWin.com, and we'll get you set up there. I'm about to release a whole bunch of, I guess you could call them testimonials. We've got a lot of members making a lot of money here lately, especially with these techniques that we teach Tier 3 every week. And so, it's pretty crazy. We got one guy in there, Jay Witt, man. That guy just keeps on popping 60, 80, 100 plus pips again and again and again, using a single technique that we taught a few weeks back. He just loading up like crazy. So, but man, we got other people doing that technique as well as others, and so we'll be sharing that across social media before too long here, just in case you guys doubt and you listen to other nonsense out there. We do actually teach you guys how to trade here. But anyway, man, oh man, we'd love to have you with us, so you can do it right there. Chairman says, you've been busy with work stuff, switched to a new company 6 months ago after I was feeling super burnt out at my previous place. I know that, man. As a consultant, oh man, I'm sure. Hoping to listen to your streams more often now that I'm in a good place. Hey man, I'm glad you're in a good place now. Yeah, being a consultant, man, that's some really, man, just... That'll keep you up at night for a while. Get you drinking. So glad that you've got someplace better now, man. Anyway, okay, guys. So, like I said, I am short right now the euro against the dollar, I'm up about 36 pips right now. Got in at 1.09839 this morning. And so enjoying that downside right now. Like I said, about 37 pips now. So that's good. I am long Bitcoin from where? I'm long Bitcoin from 38,123 most recently. So that was my one that I just put in recently. As you know, I got in long prior as well. I think you guys remember that 30. I remember what that was. It was closer down toward this end down here. 34 something I think is what it was. I told you guys what happened. Posted with Scott. Somehow I came out a few bucks in before he did, but it is what it is. It's really a non-issue at that point, right? Let me see here. What else we got going on? Yeah, I guess those are my big positions at the moment right now. Anyway, so everybody's still kind of freaking out, thinking Bitcoin's got to go lower. I can't promise it won't, but again, guys, this is kind of where we're at this point. We've got this triangle going on here. So wave 3, we've got we upgraded to this alternate to a primary count here, based on the price action that's been going on. So we've got wave 3 ending at the top up here. We've got a WXY for A, ABC for B, ABC for C. Working on a WXY here for D. And so wave X is this triangle right here. Kind of zoom into the 1 hour so you can see a little bit better here. And so again, that gives you that that gives you that A, B, C, D, and then E. And as of this E, we had a wave B triangle in there as well. So, a lot of triangles, and then we've got this flat correction right here. This wave 2 looks like it's a flat correction. All that with the triangles and everything suggests that a bottom may be forming, and in which case we would expect a large, strong move out. A nice, what we would call a thrust out of the triangle, right? So what we're looking for here now is the breakout above wave B at 39,906 and 39 cents here on Coinbase. I believe that gives us that wave 3 up there around 40,955. Let me make sure real quick. Yeah, around there, around 40,955 or so and a half, which is just basically the R1 pivot on the 1 hour here. And so, in terms of the triangle, our first move was to get above the wave B of X here, which we did. The second move is to get above the descending resistance of the triangle here. And so if we hit that wave 3 target, we'll do that. And then beyond that, you want to get above wave D here at, just move that. Come on, get over there. There we go. Wave D at 42,597 and 84 cents, and then wave B up here at 45,426.45. So those are kind of like your 3 targets here once we break out above wave B. So, triangle resistance, wave D, wave B, that's what you want to get above. And then that'll, each one will kind of add more confidence to the idea that this triangle is here and finishing up. You can still see the triangle. I mentioned this a while back. We have this on the 4 hour here, your RSI for the triangle. I also mentioned the volume drop off. I mean, everything's saying what it should for a triangle, guys. If you have a symmetrical triangle, this is exactly what you should be seeing. You should see volume dropping off throughout it because, it's consolidating. There's less movement, right? You should see RSI printing a triangle as well. You can note that we're getting support in this area here, right around this high volume node. That's where we're at, trying to break out of on that. So, but those are the things. If you think you might have a triangle, these are the things that you should definitely be seeing. If you're seeing them, all but guaranteed a triangle forming there. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at there. AJ or HJ, what's up, man? Let's see here. What's going on, Mark? He says, that's what I do, but for pension plans and group retirement plans. Consulting? Going to be great with everyone freaking out about the market, right? For sure. Where's your stop loss? Under wave A or big C? So for right now, it's going to be under C. Because, if it drops on down here, as long as it doesn't drop below wave C, it's still possible that's wave, wave E here. And so, maybe this is some convoluted wave B still playing out here, some complex wave B, right? So if you're looking at this, if you're playing this as a triangle, your stop loss should be under wave C here. Now, that doesn't even mean that that's the end of it, because this could just be A, B, and working on C of C. So C could still be over here, right? So the way you would play this triangle is, if you're in, your stop loss is below wave C here, right? If you're playing the triangle pattern. And then what you'd wait for, go, okay, well, if it breaks down from there, you go, okay, is this an A and a B here and then a C coming down to make wave C? And so for that point, what you want to do is kind of just follow this count down and see if you can get a rally, a reversal prior to wave A here. Because again, it could be A, B, C, D, E, and then head up. But once you drop below wave A there, that kind of disqualifies the idea of any real triangle going on at all. So, yeah, that's what you're kind of looking at there. If you're trying to play this triangle properly, that's how you would do that. Let me see here. Oh, there's Data. He's late with the daylight savings time. We were talking about that, man. You're probably definitely not the only one. Probably, definitely. Man, I'll tell you what. Some days it doesn't pay to get out of bed and talk, right? So anyway, this is kind of where we're at with Bitcoin here. I realize there's a lot of people still calling for lower. Remember, there were a lot of people calling for lower right here as well as a lot of people all in this area calling for higher. So in this area, we said it was going lower when everybody else said it was going higher. Here, we said it was most likely going higher when everybody else was screaming it had to go lower, right? And here we are again down here, and we're saying it looks like it's probably going higher, and we've got pretty much everybody saying it's going lower, right? So we'll see how this turns out, guys. I mean, a pretty good track record overall for the the macro kind of side of it. So we'll see if we can continue to add to the wins on that and head up. And so it's a great thing. I mean, if this if this kind of is correct, guys, and you're in right now, you just can kind of hold on that position until we get up there, six figures and whatnot. And you've got a lot of room here as this continues to play out, potentially for it to rally up. So a lot going on there, right? What's going on, Andrew? Good to see you, man. He says daily B bands tightening. Oh, I'm sure they should be if we've got this going on. Do I have that one sitting over here somewhere? Oh, man. Nope, I don't have it over here. Thought I did. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and pop that on there. A little bit. More or less, it looks pretty much the same as what it was in this area. Doesn't look like it's really tightening too much. I guess maybe a little bit here. It's starting to curl up, and this one's kind of come down a bit. So, a little bit on the daily. You'll probably see it clear on a smaller time frame. Yeah, see right here. The 12-hour, you're really kind of curling up. And you notice, I want you to pay attention here, guys. Notice that the this median line here in the Bollinger Bands is right here at the 12-hour pivot. So significance there as it continues to consolidate here. Also high volume node, of course. I mean, when you're looking at all this, it kind of screams that you're going to see a strong rally up and out of it. But as always, we want to see what ends up happening. But usually when you're seeing something like this, where you've got all this confluence right in that area, high volume node and everything, you're kind of sitting there on top of it. Usually that means you're going to get some nice explosive movement upward. And that'll probably catch a lot of people off guard. But when you look at, crypto Twitter, of course, everybody will have caught the bottom, right? Everybody was long at the bottom, right? I wasn't long at the very bottom. I was close to it the first time over here, 34 and some change. And then just recently over here. So, but definitely not long from right down here. But, again, crypto Twitter is what it is. Everybody will have been long here. And they will have sworn to you that that was what was going to happen. And, yeah, you guys know how that goes, right? We don't play that game here. We just kind of do what we're doing once chart goes on here. Risk management's what it's all about. As long as you got that, guys, you'll be fine. Let's see here. DXY, man. So here we go. We're on the rally here again. This is the 4-hour. You can see that we're getting this dip. We reset into oversold here. curled back up, breaking back out of oversold, trying to cross bullishly there. Right now, as far as the count goes, so I've got my large 3-4 here. Well, 3-4 here, and then 3-4 here, and then 1-2. Kind of work it up here. So, a series of 3-4s potentially coming up here. I might have to adjust the count a bit, but overall, especially with what I'm, thinking is happening here with the euro and continuing lower there, we, should see this continuing higher. Locally right now, wave 5 there appears to be in progress. Minimum expected target of 100.487. Secondary target up here probably around 101.188. And so this secondary target is predicated on the fact that maybe this is a wave 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Find support on that pivot. We should expect it to rally. It's looking good right now. And so that'll give us, 1, 2, and you give you 5 up here at around 101.188. So that's why it gives us that secondary target up there. White R21, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Matt Smith, what's up, man? What time are we expecting what, bud? Let me know what you're talking about. How can we be bullish on Bitcoin when the DXY looks to break a new top? Because, as I've continued to explain, that seems like to be the most important question, which means at least you guys are listening to what I'm talking about when it comes to the dollar. But it's the same question I field every few weeks here. And basically, it's because not everything moves at the same time. Not everything moves at the same time, guys. So the thing that Bitcoin has going for it is it's this new thing that people are just now starting to get excited about and starting to see the potential to make a ton of money. So they're coming in a bit late, and they hope to make money off that. Now, so the stock market comes down, Bitcoin makes its final move up, and then it comes down as the dollar continues to rally potentially. Or maybe the dollar is just really in a really deep, guys, listen. I think the dollar's, reversed down here, as I've been talking about. We've already rallied up here. What is it, 78.6 or so? Let me see. Yeah, just about 78.6, all right? So we've almost done that. But the fact of the matter is, it's possible it could still be a 1-2 here, right? And I can't guarantee you it's not until we break out above wave B up here. Maybe the dollar turns down. It's definitely possible. I don't think that's what's happening because, again, the euro, the ECB over there isn't even looking to raise interest rates at the moment. The dollar's got them stacked for the next, 12 months or so. And so that's one of the big, drivers of whether your currency is, increasing or decreasing in value against another currency. Which one becomes more valuable? Which one has the higher interest rate? And so, everything's kind of setting up for the dollar to do that. Now, here's the other idea. So let's say this is kind of the count we got here, right? So 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So we're getting up here to finish wave 1, right? Now, I always tell you that sub-wave 1 should end around the swing high of the previous degree, right? So it would make sense to get this 5th wave up here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is a significant wave 1. This wave 2 is going to take a little bit of time to pull back. So this wave 2 pulls back, and that's when Bitcoin kind of maybe breaks out up here maybe and really kind of starts taking off. So that wave 2 on that pullback for the dollar maybe becomes the final wave of Bitcoin here. So, there's a couple of different ways to look at it. But, the thing is, you don't want to paint yourself into a corner that says, oh, because the dollar's going up, nothing else can go up, even for a short period of time. You don't want to do that. Because everything does not move exactly the same. The minute the dollar goes up or goes down does not mean all risk-on assets go up or down opposite of it, There's always some bit of lag time, and it depends on the market. So, the stock market continues to drop, but Bitcoin is not the same as stock market. It's the cool new thing that everybody, all the cool kids are doing, right? So, and it's newer. And so there's a little bit more interest in it than, say, the old stodgy old stock market for the younger generation, younger money, right? So, I mean, you look at things like that as far as what's going on there. Matt Smith, FOMC tomorrow. What is that? Like right around, is it around 1 o'clock Eastern, I think? Let me look here real quick. I think it might be right around, about 1 Eastern. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like 1 p.m. If I've got that right on there. Sorry, I'm just looking at the Board of Governors calendar here real quick. Oh, maybe in the morning, a little bit earlier. It looks like Powell's testimony is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So yeah, so it's coming in earlier with that then. So yeah, right there before noon, morning. So it could be a crazy day for even if everything goes as planned. If it's 25 basis points, it's really as long as it's 25 basis points, the real driver of whatever's going to happen there is going to be the minutes and Jerome Powell's testimony there in Congress. That's going to be the big thing. People are going to seek clues of what's going on in the future there. Even if you guys are looking at mortgage rates, the mortgage rates aren't so much dictated by the rate set there, but it's going to be really kind of forward-looking, looking at what they said in the minutes and what Powell says there in the testimony. That's really going to be the driver of the mortgage rates. So, yeah. Let's see here. Chemo, what's up, man? You got to go back and see that. Good to see you checking in, though. Chanman says, is DXY the most important chart to look at currently from a global macro perspective? I think it is. I think it is because, again, we're at this point where we've got, the dollar is just rallying. We've got, and it's not that the dollar causes things to happen. It's just that the dollar is kind of like that canary in the coal mine. It tells you what's happening, right? So what's going on with everything else makes itself present in what's going on with the dollar, right? So if the market in general is becoming more risk adverse, it's going to risk off, then generally you're going to see the dollar rally. If it's going to more risk on, then you're going to see the dollar dropping. So it's not that the dollar causes things to happen. It's that the dollar shows you what's happening. It shows you the risk tendencies of the market at that time. So maybe that's a better way to help you guys understand if the dollar's rallying, how can Bitcoin still go higher? So yeah. So, yeah. Why did I track it like that? Because that's how I tracked it. I assume you're talking about the DXY. Because that's what I've got, man. Because it looks to me like we've got 5 up here for 1. ABC down, ABC up, and then we've got 5 down. That's why. So, yeah. Could it possibly be a triangle in here? If you're looking at this as a wave 4, potentially, sure. Maybe like an A, well... Yeah, I guess this would be like an A, B, C. You could do a D, E, and head up here. But if I'm looking at this, come from down here, yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible. It's possible. We'll see how it plays out here, but, hey, a triangle would be even more for what's going on, right? No, you mean Bitcoin? Oh, Lord have mercy, man. Where, you've got to tell me where you're talking about a flat. This is a triangle here. So I don't know where, unless you're talking about this right here locally as a, right here. If you talk about this as a flat. Why do I got this a flat? Because there's 5 waves up here, and there's 3 back, and then there's 3 up. That's why. So, and then there's 5 waves down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 3 waves up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. That's why. So if that's what you're talking about. Oscar, what's up, man? Hour earlier? No, man. Well, it'll be an hour earlier for you now because we had a time change. Stupid government. Still in that hour away from me Sunday night. Yeah, so we spring forward. It's spring, so we go forward an hour. And then the fall will drop back an hour. So I have no pull at all with the government. So I can't get them to change that. I sure wish I could, though. What a ridiculous waste of time and money and effort. Let me see here. Hank, you said that's how the trade devils have it, with the ABCD being the B of an ABC down. Where are you talking about, man? Which chart are you talking about? And what time frame are you looking at, just so I have an idea of where you might be looking at there. Let me see here. What's up, Brian? Good to see you. DXY, Andrew says DXY, wave 1 to hit the swing high, then dip to wave 2. I don't think it's going to hit the swing high. Again, usually it's going to be kind of this area here. So we've got all this that'll work as supply up here. So I think it just kind of gets up here. Again, potentially look at this 1, 2. Gosh, I don't even know here. It really just depends on this count here. I can see a possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up. But, it's really just going to depend on what happens over here. I've been subdividing and whatever, and I may have gone too far with that in this. But I do think we've probably still got some further upside, to the 100, 101 area maybe, before we at least get a top, around that. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for there. Oh, you're talking about dominance, Hank? Oh. Yeah, I wasn't talking about dominance. Unless you were talking to somebody else, man. You might have been talking about somebody else there. Let me see here. Oscar, yeah, you do the same for the EU, but thought it's the same for the US. Guess USA wants to be first in everything. What are you gonna do, right? Yeah, I think you guys are coming. Maybe you guys are like a week off, right? I think maybe, if I remember from last year. Oh, Bitcoin daily, Hank says. Okay. Let me zoom out here to the daily. Hank says that, what is it? Trade devils have what here? The ABCD being the B of an ABC down. You talking about right here? Or is this like A and then this is B and then C down? Real quick, you drew what they have. Let me see here. What do you got here? Yeah, okay, you're talking about that there. Yeah, lots of possibility in that. That just becomes, your flat correction for wave 4 here. So definitely possible, sure. But, until we get that breakdown, I think, where we're looking at, I think we continue to look higher. But they've got this. Let me see. What do you got? A, B, C, D, E. I think I might have mentioned that last week, didn't I? Or last time? A possibility of that if we were going to go down, that this would be... Oh, I was looking at potentially like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down here. I like this better as a flat, like I was just talking about, where you'd have 5 down here rather than a WXY. I think if you're trying to get a WXY with an X that breaks out above W and a Y that drops down below W, I think it lends itself better to potentially that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down. Yeah. And so if it's coming down there, again, the same thing I was talking about. Yeah, this is more or less what I was talking about last time and probably the time before. I think a good target's that S1 pivot down there at around 26,255 or so on the weekly. I think it would be a good target for it if it was to do that. Sure. we'll just see what it does here. Do we get that rally or not at the moment? Yeah, right here. And so, even if that was the case, again, you still have this. Now, my only real issue, I guess it really isn't even so much an issue. Your triangle would still work here. So you get that A, B, C, D, E. This triangle here with RSI. And your volume does drop off. I don't like this hole in volume here. I don't like this. It's really kind of down here and back up minus these few spikes. Generally, in triangles, you're going to see volume do this. Where you've got a much more like a supportive decline. It's areas here rather than this kind of, okay, volume here, and then you've got this big drop before you get your spike here, but it's just a couple of spikes in there. You see how this looks very anemic in here as far as the volume goes? And then it all picks up here and kind of drops off. So, in terms of a triangle, that kind of throws me off a bit of this potentially being that larger triangle. But, it's not enough to say it can't happen. But usually when I'm looking for a symmetrical triangle, especially Elliott wave type, this is the kind of thing we look for in the volume. We don't really look for this. This kind of gives you, pause, or should give you pause, if that makes sense. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so we'll see how that goes there. White R21, you prefer to have the U.S. markets open an hour early for you? Let me see here. Yeah. It's definitely a possibility. I mean, like I said, nothing going on different there than what we've already talked about. Definitely a possibility, but I don't know. Again, for me personally, I guess you got it right here. I'm not a big fan of the whole X rallies beyond W and then Y drops below W. If I see something like that, I'm much more apt to try and figure out and see if it's more of a, a flat where you've got the 5 waves down for a C, so an ABC rather than a WXY. But yeah. What do you prefer there, Hank? Something like this here? Possible, yeah. It's odd. I can't say it's odd. It's not as often that you'll get. Well, no, you're not even looking at triangle. I was thinking you were looking at triangle for wave Y here. My bad. What have you got? A WXY, then ABC. Well, what's this ABC here, though, Hank? What's this? Is it, I don't know, wave 1 of a leading diagonal, or what is this here? Because I don't know why you've got an ABC here. If you've got this as a WXY. Because if this is a WXY, then this should start off as 1 up, right? Unless you're saying maybe WXY XZ kind of thing. But then I think you're getting back to the triangle. I think you're getting back to the ABCDE. So yeah. Let me see here. Oh my God. That was a lot of color on there. Let me see if I can figure out what you're doing here. Yeah, I like your pitchfork. I do like that, and I like the tap here on the EQ of that, on the median time there. I definitely like that. Yeah, I mean I like. Okay, so yeah, so I like that right there. I'm just trying to figure out what all your other lines are. It looks like this is some kind of support you've got coming from way back prior over here. Is this another pitchfork maybe? Right here from back down there. Yeah, the flat any 3 in a triangle, complex correction, wave Y, you're looking at WXY, right? So triangle's a wave Y. It's definitely possible. It's rare. It's kind of like if you're looking at, let me see here. I got all your charts on here now. So your megaphone pattern for a triangle, this inverted symmetrical triangle like this, it's possible, but it's a rare thing. much more rare anyway than a symmetrical triangle or other types of triangles. And so, your wave Y as a Z is kind of like that, or wave Y as a triangle is the same idea. It's definitely possible, but much more the exception than the rule when it comes to those. So, I keep an open mind with it, but I usually look for what's, more likely to happen there for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's a, you said that's a pitchfork here as well. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Andrew says it looks like a large downward channel. This right here? Yeah, it is. And so you get the bounce off the bottom here. You rally up through kind of like this meeting area here, and you're looking for this breakout higher off that. So, yeah. Didn't you just show me this? Yellow dotted lines. Yeah, you gave me the wrong one, I think, here, man. Looks like the same one that you were already showing. Yeah, see. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump here real quick. Definitely some possibilities, guys. So, again, the one thing that you have to understand about trading is, contrary to what crypto Twitter and the rest of social media is going to tell you, there is no one single way is better than everything else. Everything works if you do it, and you practice it like you do anything else in life. But you can't do it for a couple of days and kind of half-ass your way through it and go, oh, it doesn't work. That's what everybody always says, right? Again, Hank will remember anybody that was around in 2017, through the 2017 bull market there in crypto. You're going to remember every week it was something different. And like 2 or 3 days in, somebody, everybody would show, oh, that doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And then they go on to the next flavor of the week, right? And so we ran through all these different trading strategies and systems throughout the year, especially there at the end of the year. It was just stupid. But guys, listen, as long as you practice what the thing is, you're going to do fine with it. You don't have to learn Elliott wave. You don't have to learn Wyckoff. You can learn either or something else. The systems and strategies usually do work, but it's usually the practitioner. They're not doing it. They're not taking the time to learn how to do it correctly. They're not doing the practice, putting in the practice hours that it demands, to get good at it. These are all things that contribute to why it doesn't work, right? So yeah. Here's gold right here. Mike, what's up, man? Look, I got gold on here already, buddy. So, again, we were looking at the likelihood that gold is probably topped out up here. We're working on 5 waves down at the moment. Wave 3, it just about hit my wave 3 target, was 1907 and 10 cents. And we hit 1908 and 10 cents, so $1 short of my target here. So we'll see if we can get a rally up here, potentially around 1947 or so, to get that wave 4. I think it's that 38.2 on that. Yeah, so if wave 3 is done here, wrong one here, then just real quick pull here gives you a 38.2 around 1940. Let me see here. Around 1941 or so. 50% is 1951. So those are kind of like the targets I would look for wave 4. That gives us a wave 5, guys, of the 1 hour S2 pivot, which is also finds confluence here with the daily pivot. So it makes a lot of sense that you come down in wave 1 to the daily pivot, you get your rally up for wave 2, then you head on lower. So in that case, you get this 3, this 4, this 5. So then wave circle 2 should then kind of come up here toward this 1 hour pivot area up here where this wave 4 is. Up in this area, maybe $2,001, somewhere right around there. But that's what I'm kind of looking at as far as gold goes right now. Okay? And so if we jump over to silver, silver's not too far off, pretty much the same thing. I've got this as possibly a 1-2, but it's also possible this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll get a 5 down here toward, again, the S2 pivot. Same idea as gold. And then we'd have a wave 2, coming back up here toward that 1 hour pivot area up here, this wave 4 resistance. So, again, this is potentially a 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and we'll get a 5 down here to that S2 pivot. Oil, And so again, that gives us a wave 2 on there. And if this wave 2 is correct, again, silver should be headed down toward $8 or so. Let me see here. And I know that just makes everybody's head spin, right? People don't like me when I talk like that because I'm an idiot, right? Of course. Anyway, yeah, man, oil. Look at that oil. It just keeps on keeping on down here, guys. So we came up here to about 130, I think is where we are on WTI. 130.50. And guys, we are all the way down here to around 93.5. I mean, that's a huge move down there so far. That's look at that. 28, just over 28% on that. Again, pretty much the same count here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 gives us a 5 down here, probably toward $90.60, potentially down here around $88 or so. But then that would give us then 2 rallies back up here. Maybe the high volume noted around 110. Maybe wave 4 up here around the pivot at 114. But that should just be wave 2 and come on back down at that point. Okay. So yeah, I think we've got what I'm looking for is a wave 5 top off of off May 2020, off that negative print. That's what I'm looking. This 5 waves up from there. And we've been rallying, guys, for almost 2 years, straight from negative 40 or so up to $130. You got to have a break. It can't go up forever, right? Let me see here. So yeah, oil, I think that's kind of where we're sitting at with that. I've been screaming short oil since probably over here. We were looking at potentially this being a 3 and a 4 and moving up for 5, but when we got this breakdown here, back down toward this area, we said, okay, it looks like that's probably that top there, and we can go ahead and short that. Let's see here. Hank's chart. He's still looking at this right here. So W, X, and then a large Y as a triangle. Certainly possible. Let me see. You would have a W, X, and then A, B, C, D, E. You'd have to have there, yeah. Definitely possible, guys. And I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't hate on it. I wouldn't be upset about it. It gives me a lot of time to buy more Bitcoin, right? But I think right now, that's definitely still on the table. But we'll see how we do from here. We'll see if we get that rally up as we're kind of looking at the current count. And if we're breaking up out of there, then, could very well be that's it. So, yeah. Should you buy? I can't tell you what to buy, man. Communist Express Baba. We can take a look at the chart, though. We can see what it looks like, maybe. Shanghai index looks like it's got another high still coming. So, like it's a wave 4, maybe like a triangle. It's sideways. And then, you got a wave 5 kind of thrust still left. So, in that case, maybe, it might be worth it for a little bit of a rally. Let me see what we're doing here. Oh, let's go jump out of the weekly. And we'll put this on Alibaba right there. Yeah, I mean, gosh, such a huge drop there. I mean, if I'm looking at this, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. After that, just looking here real quick. I mean, man, oh man. This almost looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because see if oh man. Yeah, so maybe like a 1, 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I think there's probably a chance to buy this soon, just at least to some sort of bounce. I mean, God, dog, this thing is really kind of. I remember reading in Seeking Alpha, somebody for the longest time kept saying, we're buying, we're buying, we're buying, we're buying, we're still buying, it's great, we're still buying. And I think around this area, they finally said, oh, I don't think it's going to go any higher at the moment. But as you can see here, that's 85.4% on that pullback there. See, I mean, if I count, guys, if you count this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. I mean, it looks like it's 5 down. So you might just get like a temporary rally. And based on the monthly, you might get to run it up here around 120, 125 maybe. This monthly supply block here. But then, I don't know. Do you kind of continue down here to the S1 and just about get it out, get right into this demand structure down here? Just about that area. So boom and then boom. Man, that monthly's about to get down and oversold here. I don't know. Does it may still continue to stay lower, continue a bit lower into the end of the month so that you get this this close down here in oversold. Let's see, February. Well, I don't know. It's already closed and oversold. Never mind. It's already closed and oversold here. So yeah, so it could turn up. I think you're probably getting a bounce out of at least around that, like I said, that 120, 125 area. But if I'm counting down here, man, it looks like 5 down. It's possible. Okay, it's possible if that's 5 down there that maybe we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here maybe. And then ABC, ABC. So we've got an expanded flat correction. That's definitely possible. Yeah. So like I said, I think you're going to get a bounce up there at least to that area. If you continue up through that, you're gonna want to look right here around this 145 to 160 area. If you can break out through that, I think that this probably becomes a 1, 2 is a expanded flat, 3 heading up, which would give you a target of what? Oh yeah, see that doesn't even work out there. It gives you wave 3 right up there. So you'd have to see how this rallies up with 5 waves here to start getting an idea of where you'd be heading up. At least 382 for wave 3. At least 382, 83, on something like that. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I could see this. Who's timing who out? I'm not timing anybody out. I'm banning them. If you're talking about those idiots that put their whatever they're doing their spam stuff, yeah, I ban them. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. This looks like 3 down, 3 up, and 5 down right here. I mean, I'd be careful with it, but I think you might at least get a bounce. Like I said, you're going to have to make it through this supply block here and then this one up here, and then I'll feel more, I'll feel better about possibly it being some kind of expanded flat. But this area right here looks like 3 down, 3 up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So this looks like a flat here. And if this is a flat here, it would be like this is a 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is a flat. I guess you could. I don't know. Because this here, you've got, a 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially a 5 here. So 1, 2, 3. See, that doesn't work out right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ending diagonal there. This right here is kind of sloppy in that as well. So yeah, I think right now, I think you just look for that target. You know, if we can get a reversal off that, you look for that target of that monthly area there. This is nice volume and, you know, volume price action here. So you've got this huge bit of volume. And what you can see here is you have this large volume spread right here a couple of days back with this volume down, which was a spike off of what it was coming into it, right? But then you have this other volume, which is a larger spike, smaller candle spread. So a lot more effort, less result. And here you are coming up with volume that's almost similar to yesterday's, and you're getting pretty much almost no result right there. So definitely demand showing up here. I can get a good little bounce out of that, if anything, going up through there. Yeah. Does the length of time for the Bitcoin macro fork compared to the 2 worry you? Let me see here. So this versus this right here. Now, I think it's pretty much, it's just a little bit longer. I think, what do we got here? Just a quick pull here, about 267 days here, it says. And then over here right now, if we're going on this count here, if this is correct here, 337, nah, because this is a simple zigzag. Theory of alternation says that this should be a more complex correction, so we've got a triangle. This is quicker, the zigzag's quick, the complex correction takes a bit more time. Yeah, so no, it's actually following, what we would expect with, guidelines with the Elliott wave as it is. So, yeah. Oh, you were talking to Oscar about permaban? You only want the 4 to be longer than 2 if your 2 is short. If your 2 is long, then you expect your 4 to be short. Yeah, so if you had like a flat correction for wave 2, then you'd expect something like a simple zigzag, something like this for wave 4. So yeah, again, theory of alternation. Let me see here. Let me kind of get this back down here a little bit. We got this rally up into the 1 hour pivot right now, higher volume node. Trying to break out higher here. So still looking all right there. Let's see. Let me pull up stock market real quick here. So NASDAQ composite. Let's see here. Potentially wave 4 of 3. So wave 4 of 3 of 3. Just about hit the 50% retracement level there. Let's see here. So maybe A, B, C heading up here or something. So we'll see if we can get this break on back down here. Below this pivot, this 15-minute pivot there at 12,686. That area. 1 hour is just about topped out. Stochastic RSI is just about topped out and overbought. You can see that we've got bullish divergence here on the 1 hour RSI. You've got this little bit of a wick here as we rally back up. We should expect it to remain, if the count is correct, we're heading lower. I mean, we should expect it to pretty much remain below the 1 hour pivot here. So kind of like when we usually look for the breakout to the R1, the pullback to the pivot, and then the breakout. Same idea here. We look for the S1 to the pivot area and then the breakdown below the S1. So yeah, kind of what we're still looking at here for, what's it called? Wave 4 here. Now, the other possibility maybe is that we've got some sort of triangle forming here. So A, B, and then we'll have C, and then D, and then E, and then come down. So that's still a possibility here because we continue to kind of move sideways. So don't be surprised if you happen to see that. Let me see here. And then we've got the E-minis here for the S&P. So we're getting this rally and trying to get this breakout here. Let's see. What's our count looking like here? So I've basically got this as a 1-2 off this January, early January top here. 1-2, 1-2 here. Now, it's possible, just the bigger picture here. Maybe it's possible we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An A, B, C. But, again, we'll have to see how it continues to play out locally here, though. I was looking at this as a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So as long as we stay below wave 2 here, we can consider maybe that it's still headed lower here. So let's got to stay below that 42, 44, and 75 cent area. So, yeah, right now we just hit that wick right there in the 1 hour, giving us potentially tweezer tops here, sending us back down here below the 1 hour pivot. So we see some continuation lower there. Well, that's what we'd be looking for. Now, maybe if this is going to be wave 1 of 3, it's possible it's a leading diagonal. So, an ABC is 1, 2, ABC is 3, 4, and then ABC is 5. And so that would be one there. And in that case, we're just kind of getting to that 61.8. So especially if we break out above wave 2 here, I think we could maybe look at this as, wave 1 and then wave 2 of wave 3 headed down. If it does happen to break out just above it there. Even if it doesn't, I think that might be the way to look at it. But you would have to consider this right here, the A, B, C right there on that. Let me see here. And so, of course, we look at, let's see here. BABA is down in the U.S. because they fear the consequence of the Ukrainian war on the Chinese government, on Chinese commerce, possible sanctions on China. Actually, BABA's been going down, as you saw in the chart there, for quite a while. So, again, that's the idea that we're conflating news with price action, right? It's been going down since October up here. So, Ukraine invasion was just over here, right? It's already in a downtrend. That's why it's down, right? When am I doing a live event? So, yeah, man. So that's kind of crazy. I'm looking at when we make the relocation to Houston and I get set up over there, potentially like doing some kind of weekly or bi-weekly, monthly kind of meetup in the Houston area. And then, we were hoping to maybe do some kind of training and whatever event, right, when I was over here. And then COVID came and everything. So, depending on how that whole travel bans and everything goes, I'd like to probably do some of that in the Houston area. So, yeah, that I think that would be cool, sometime maybe in a year or so. And that would be one of those big things where you kind of come down, for like 3 days or something, and you're getting different speakers and you're getting educational stuff and all this kind of stuff going on there. Yeah. So, that's kind of what I'd like to do. I think that'd be cool, man. I talked to so many of you guys, online for years here, man. I'd love to meet you guys in person. I think that'd be absolutely awesome. So here we go with the Dow here. We've rallied up above this swing high, which again could say that we've got, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe as a leading diagonal. So it gives us a 1, 2, but it has to stay below this, this wave 2 swing high here at 33, 230 and 26 cents. So basically if we're up in this wick here, up in this supply, right there at the R1 pivot. So if we get a rejection here, head on back down, then this just looks like a leading diagonal for wave 1 of 3 here. Let's see here. And that would give us then Well, it'd be wave one of three, because this would be 1, 2, 3 at 32,314 and a half, and then 5 down here around $32,048, and then that becomes wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down here toward this wave 3 target at 38.39 and a quarter. As you can see, we're just kind of doing this sideways thing here since, a week prior to the end of February. But it's finding resistance really at the previous support. I mean, so we had the dip down and then we had support here, which became resistance here. We dropped down and here we are coming up. And so we're sitting kind of below that area. So to get a rejection and head on back down makes a lot of sense to renew that move down. And that would be a wave 3, which means we should have a stronger move down if that's the case. These charts really are kind of looking at these larger wave 3 movements. And again, wave 3s are usually where we get a lot of power. We get a lot of inclusion. We get a lot of buy-in on that. And so that's what we, kind of expect here. These larger wave 3s or 3s of 3s heading down there. Mike, yeah, man, I'll definitely keep you guys posted, man. I think it'd be awesome. You guys get to meet me, I get to meet you. And then, of course, we'd all get to kind of meet each other, right? So, yeah. But I mean, there's kind of where we're, continuing to go here. So basically maybe getting some sideways here before, some pressure build up before that drop down lower, right? Kind of like maybe on Bitcoin here, this build up before we break on out and rally up higher there, right? Lots of possibilities so far. And so if you're new to trading, guys, or even if you've been around and you're confused by, oh my gosh, there's so many possibilities. Well, it's because we've been going sideways here since January of last year, right? I mean, it really started here. This is all sideways. And so January of last year, we're going on what? 14, 15 months now? And so that's why you have different possibilities of what could be happening, guys. And, as a trader, that's where you're smart about it, right? You understand the possibilities, these larger possibilities, and then you kind of just trade what's going on locally. As those other possibilities play out, you've got more, some idea of where you're headed at least, right? So yeah. But that's what I would look for on that, is you kind of get your ideas about, okay, what are the major macro moves that could be going on here? And then you zoom into the, that 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. Then you just kind of play that locally with the maybe the nearest possible outcome as your primary. And then if you continue on through that, then you work your way up to another possible one. So yeah. ADA, USDT, Cardano. You want it to get way down here at 40 and 50? That's way down here. Let me zoom out here a bit. I mean, my first thought is that you've got this daily demand structure here from the 15th of February of last year, around that time, 16th. And we hit the EQ of that almost perfectly. So my first thought is, I want to see, do we get a rally up out of here? Is this 1, 2 right here? Because I can get a flat correction here. Now, if this was to be some sort of triangle, it would have to start up here. So I don't think it's a triangle, because you can't go A, B, and then get a C lower. So yeah. But I would look at, this looks like an ABC here. This is an ABC. This looks like an ABC, and we've got, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I mean, we've got a 5 count down. We can also look at the retracement on that of right around, what do we got here? Now see, there's a couple different ways this could be playing out here. But That's a 50% retracement right here. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 is a flat. You've got a simple one. But see, then again, this is kind of really small compared to this, so I think probably be better off looking at this here. Oh, wait, this is 1, 2 right here, so maybe 3, 4 here. Nonetheless, locally here, we're going to work that out as it continues to rally up there, but locally here, if we can get this rally going on from here, then it should say at least that we are bottomed out here and heading up above the swing high here. And like I said, as that plays out, we can kind of look back here and maybe, work on the count a bit. But yeah, I don't know, 40 to 50. I don't know, man. It's 40 to 50. There's nothing there in that 40 to 50 area. See this? There's nothing really there. I think if you're going there, you've got to come down here to 35. Maybe 40. God, that's the top right there. But I think you'd come down into it probably closer to 30, 35 if you're going to do that. So yeah. But like I said, yeah, I don't think you're getting 40 to 50. I think if you're getting 40 to 50, you're getting probably 30 to 35, actually, right? Because again, right here, 40 to 40 maybe gets you the very top here, but usually it dips into that. It doesn't stop at the very top. It usually dips into it. And so you've got this 38, 39 top here. 35 at least probably makes more sense on that. If that happens. Right now, the important thing is that this structure right here is finding support in this area. So if we can get this rally up and break out. The easiest way to look at this, we've pretty much gotten down here around this S1 on the daily. And so we're printing a higher low right here. So if we can break out above this daily pivot, that swing high just above it, I think that pretty much sets us up on a breakout of that descending channel, which then, all adds confidence in the idea that it continues rallying from there. So yeah. Let's see here. What's going on, Jordan? Do I look at the EU markets at all with the portfolio right now? I'll be honest, like EU stocks. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a lot in terms of investments go with stocks now. I've got it pulled back, pruned back right now, just kind of trading till we get some better confirmation of what may be going on. So took profits, got out, using that cash to kind of trade at the moment. So not really looking to do investments unless something really just kind of struck out, and hit me. But I'm not overly excited about getting into investments at the moment with stocks of any kind, honestly. Yeah. HJ says Ruin USDT has really been pumping lately since it broke out of the descending channel. Perfect test of the daily pivot and then pumped up 85% since that daily pivot test. So what was that? Ruin USDT? Let's see here, daily. Man, yeah, that's a nice move up. Right out of this swing low area here. Low, you got the low over here back in February of last year. Low again February last year. July of last year low. A little bit higher here is this January of this year low. And then that one right there. Yeah, that looks good. It looks like we're about done. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see here. So I'd probably look for a pullback. Yeah, look at 2618. So if I'm looking at this, it's almost screaming basically. We've got this here. Let's see, you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so wave 3 is longer than wave 1, so it's fine that wave 5 continues up higher there. So, it could continue higher or not, but I think one way or the other, it's on that 5th wave heading up there. if the top is in, I'm looking for a pullback 50%. Well, I think you can maybe look at 38.2 first, the 5.566 area, and then the 50% there, 4.955. Those would be my first two targets. You notice the 50 is right here at this higher volume node. So that's probably the better target there. Oh, but if we zoom in more, actually here, that 38.2 is actually the better target. But yeah, that's kind of, you can see right there where you've got these demand blocks right at these high volume nodes. But yeah, I'd be looking for that pullback, and then, man, that rally up and off of that. It's going to be nice. So, potentially there. So what I would look for is a breakdown below this R2 pivot on the daily here. That'll probably signal that wave 5 is done. Because again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you drop down below that wave 4. It's a little bit below it here. It's at $6 and 0.045. So $6 and half a cent there. Let me zoom in a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you might get a little bit higher out of this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe just another overlap here. Maybe around 8, 8 and a quarter, maybe something like that. But on the 4 hour here, yeah, see that 38.2. I think the 38.2 might be where it goes. That's right here at the 4 hour pivot. If we get that one more little push up higher there. What usually happens in these areas is they have that big move, so retail gets really excited. They all start buying in right here or right here, heaven forbid. And then, of course, it goes a little bit up, and they get all excited, and then all of a sudden it drops on them. And, yeah, that's never any fun right there. Right? Let's see here. So, yeah, it's been a good move up. Yeah. That gives you almost the 1618. An overextension of that wave 5. So, we'll see how that plays out there. From here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's your A, B, C. There's your B. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe, so maybe 1, 2. Oh, wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless that's 5 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 down here potentially. This gives you a flat correction here for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, potentially. But anyway, so yeah, either way, looking for probably topped out or nearly so, and looking for a pullback on that. So, yeah. Good times, right? Anyway, guys, all right, so there we go. So it's all about tomorrow, right? So, again, markets have priced in, quarter basis point rate hike. The only thing that drives anything crazy is if they don't raise it at all, or they raise it 50. Other than that, I think more than anything else, people are going to be looking for what's being said in the minutes to get an idea of what may be happening further on. Are the governors there getting more? Is the board getting more comfortable with the idea of a 50 basis point hike? I think that's what you're really kind of looking for at that point. Because otherwise, the market basically figures, hey, we've got a quarter point here. We're probably doing a quarter point throughout the year, the rest of the year. So anything that says there might be some change to that, I think, is what you're looking for tomorrow there. So, yeah, man, I hope we get a nice push this week as well. Like I said, whether it's the count here or the other possible counts, or whatever, the idea that we can move up off these lows, I think ends up, giving people a lot of, well, it'll upset a few people at first, but it'll give us more of that potential move higher. As far as Wyckoff goes here, buying climax, local selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test. There's your thrust. You've got a higher high, so generally it leads to a higher low most times. And that's what we kind of got right here. So it gives you a last point of support rather than a spring. So we'll see if that continues to play out. So there we go. All right, listen, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. Remember, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. That's it. So if you haven't yet taken risk management seriously, I really, really suggest that you guys do it. All right? Because that's the only way you're going to remain in the market for any length of time, guys. Okay? All right. I hope you guys have a great week here. I'll be back on Friday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until that point, just keep trading safe. And hopefully you guys will join us over there at howtotradetowin.com, texaswestcapital.com, okay? All right, guys. If you're in with us, I'll see you guys at Discord here in just a bit. Take care.